Kian, though, with the break, and he's got one golden break already. That won them match one, and he was very close to one in the last match as well. All eyes on the 8 ball, and it barely moves on this occasion.
You teed that up well, Simon. But it's a reasonable break, and there is an opportunity.
It looks worse than it is, but it's still not a wide open chance.
I think personally, I'm probably looking at yellows because of how the red by the 8 ball's tied up, and they've played a good opening shot. And if the outside one of these 3 yellows can go, you've got the natural angle to develop the 8 ball and be on another yellow. Could even elect to play the plant.
They're going up the table first.
I can only presume that the yellow that's closest to where they're pointing the cue does go into the bottom left, and it doesn't need developing because they were naturally on the position for it then beforehand.
Well, that's changed things, but I think they're okay here. I think the cue ball's just come far enough. They're on the one nearest the pocket. They could drop it in and stay on one to the opposite centre. Or come back out. That was excellent.
Yeah.
Well, the chance looks great now, doesn't it? They now should put it away.
And week after week, we're seeing special performances from the next-gen stars, and it just goes to show the strength and depth of the pool world. This is the key shot. Do you play position to just draw it back, or do you draw it back off the rail and back out?
I would have been wanting to do a little bit more on that previous shot, I think, so that you don't risk snookering yourself there. But they're okay.
Nice.
Beautiful visit to the table. The young lads start off with a break clearance. They still fancy the job tonight. They really do.
Yeah, they've played really well in patches, and the good thing about that is that was on the back of a defeat, and it's easier for players to drop their heads, and they've just shown the otherwise, that keep your heads, stay calm, composed, and knock in a tough finish.
That was a tough finish as well. That was I could have certainly got on board with a kind of thought of maybe pull back at the start. I know at the pro level, at the elite level, that was a finish you take on. But they've just grabbed it by the ball, ball by the horns, and gone for it. And that was fantastic.
That's a nice break from Gary. And again, it's a gettable finish on either colour set, to be honest. But it's also one that's got a little bit of work to do.
Red right in the middle of the table. If you're going reds, it is a real problem. Can you do something about it here? Can you force it? It's tricky though, isn't it?
I think he's on it now.
Oh, he's hit the gap. That doesn't look even possible. Fabulous.
You see, the way Gary's going, he's getting better as the night's gone on. From how he started with the mistakes he was making, to how he's ending, and this is good pool. Just okay, I think.
Yeah, I think he's on the outside one. He needs to be on the outside one. Maybe not. Well, it looked like he was still on it to me, but
yeah.
Maybe can't have been, obviously. Has blocked off the yellow to bottom right. That's the problem here.
Is there an opportunity for Kian to play the one over the middle and then play the other yellow down the rail off the red.
Almost, if you could see it sort of separating the two reds and creating a gap, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I think it's what he's going to play.
It's thin though, so there's pressure on it.
Well, he's just played it clean, so hasn't dealt with the yellow. That is the issue. Now he looks at it.
He's screwing this off the bottom rail and into it. He's got the bite.
Beautiful.
And he's top of the knees from both pairings. Appreciate how good that shot was. And this shot, this one coming up now, can be looked at as frame ball if you get good position.
Is he going to get lucky? He is going to get very lucky. Huge moment. My word.
See Andy laughing there. I'm sure he played it. He'll tell us all he played it.
Not perfect.
No, but the kiss is just enough to keep him with an opportunity, but just sort of lost the cue ball a little bit on this finish.
Ultimately, the big fluke hasn't helped him. Gary Close has got another opportunity to tie these scores up.
And that's a nice flick on the 8-ball. He's got to decide, does he play a thin plant down the rail or...
That is very thin though, isn't it?
It should get this, but it is missable. And it does leave a natural skill shot if he misses it.
Floats it in beautifully. Well, second time of asking, but it's job done for Gary Close. He gets the frame on the board, and we're back all square. Missed opportunity for Kian.
Yeah, I think obviously where he's had the fluke and been able to get the finish, carry on with the chance of getting the finish, that was the big shot, and he seemed to sort of play it too hard and lash at it rather than nicely like cue the ball through and let the cue ball do the work with the bite.
Yeah, I agree with that shot, but I question whether he should have tried. He played the developing shot after playing the one to bottom right, which if he had gotten the developing shot the shot before, that actually would have been hanging over the right centre pocket. And it could have, when he plays the developing shot, he's got two balls he can be on instead of the one he's moving, which could have helped him as well.
Yeah, but they opened up with a 8-ball in the first frame. And with a break like that, this is another opportunity.
We haven't seen too much of Callum breaking tonight because attention's been on Kian with the golden break and running close, but put everything into that, and he's been rewarded with a good opportunity.
See, I would be looking at taking the 3 at the top of the table here. So, if you can play this to the top left and use the cue ball to hold on the yellow. Perfectly played.
That's a beautiful shot because he's just got that lovely turn of angle. Play on the one on the right hand side here, and he's got the perfect line to play it.
He's just roll it in and land on the one down the rail. And that's been the theme of their night. They've shown glimpses of really, really high level pool, and then just thrown in a miss where you don't expect.
Yeah, I wonder whether his thought was just on the cue ball there and took his eye off what was a very simple pot for him. It was almost a natural with a trace of right-hand side, wasn't it? Just a little bit of top right, and he lands on the perfect line, whereas I think he was worried about flicking the yellow, and maybe that was in his mind.
Yeah, Andy's going here, and I'm not sure if he looked at that table again. He could have played had a free go at a skill shot, but with an element of safety on the loss of turn as well. Whereas he's still got the opportunity to do that now, but the position isn't as guaranteed.
It's a shot where you feel good things are going to happen. It's not, as long as you don't overhit this and you just play the control, you know, get a little bit of bite on it, and you shouldn't leave anything too easy on. And it looks like he's thinking about just going out and out loss of turn.
Key shot of the frame and the match.
Not the best. Had to keep that ball right over the pocket, as he has just put Callum right where he wanted to be. Maybe a few rolls further away from this red, but this was the ball he was trying to get on, and in the same way as he was previously.
Big shot, Callum. Stay still. Oh, that's a big miss. And it's another opportunity gone. And Red's just gone on the rail where Andy's sort of got a free go at this.
Beautiful. Lovely shot. And could have done without that kiss, unless it passes. He's got to play the plant. It's tricky, but it might pass. Oh, very, very good.
He's just landed a little bit straight on the yellow, so...
Might even be a quarter turn off straight the wrong way. If he's absolutely straight, he probably just rips it straight back.
Oh, that's awkward.
That is very awkward. Didn't really get any... I thought you might get a little bit of reverse side on that, but didn't get anything. He played it natural.
Yeah.
Just ripped it on the straight, and it was very tight line.
He can get a good cue ball if he was to miss the 8-ball, but I expect him to get it.
He does get it. It rattles but falls. Missed opportunities there for Callum. You feel like he should have made the break clearance there. He'd done the work, just had to connect the dots. Allowed Andy in for the frame. He didn't do it in one visit, but ultimately got there.
Yeah, it's a tough environment out there when you can feel the pressure. You can sort of, with some players, you can see it in the faces. Where if you look at the likes of Tom Cousins and Sean Chipperfields of the world, they just look like they're playing at home in the local club. They just never seem phased by any occasion.
Yeah, just relaxed and flowing, aren't they? Not always the way, though. They've obviously had to go through it to get to that state. These young lads will learn. That's an excellent break. He's broken really well tonight. It's very close. Giving himself a lot of good chances off the break.
Yeah, the yellows all sort of connect up, and the best way for punish your opponent if they miss a chance in the frame before is to follow it up with a breaking clearance. We saw Matt Cooke do it earlier in the night. I think Gary was pointing to leave the cue ball pretty much where it is now, but personally I'd be drawing up off the left-hand side of the table and take the yellow into the right centre after this. He's just got to be careful to make sure he doesn't leave him hampered over the red on this next shot. And that's the wrong angle.
really want to be playing the one at the top of the table as your last ball, but maybe where they're heading here.
They will be now, surely. The 8 ball does go into the bottom right, but just that lax positional shot. He's running around the table.
Make your mind up. Played that well. It's the angle like. Yeah, it's pretty good. Andy could pull this straight back.
Excellent recovery and
just quit on it a touch.
Yeah. Big shot.
Oh, very good. Very good 8 ball that. That was all a little bit frantic once it got to the 15 seconds a shot. But they got the job done. They are 2 clear. And we're in the final 5 minutes.
And a win for Gary and Andy keeps them in the night with a slimmer of hope to get a 6 red shootout if Matt and Scott were to lose their last match.
Matt and Scott would have been cheering on the draw. They would like to have seen that 8 ball missed. Even though the night's in their hands, they would love for it to be already done and dusted. It's looking like they're going to have to do some work in that final match.
Oh.
Gave the 8 ball a chance there.
Yeah, and you see, no ball off the break and they've all split. And Andy and Gary don't necessarily have to win this frame. They can just eat up as much of the clock as they want.
Four minutes is an interesting time. So if they don't get out, if Gary doesn't get out in this visit, but he gets close, he's going to use up better part of 2 minutes. The counter's a minute. It's one of those where you'd feel a lot happier about getting out there rather than putting yourself under it potentially.
Yeah, and you see he's developed the 8 ball. He's not on a yellow, and that's the counter argument: is do you pot the yellows that were in the open and run the clock?
And this isn't a bad layout on Reds, especially as he's got an angle to get the one at the top up out of the way early.
And I think that's the match environment of the short clock. They know a draw's not really, well, it's not good enough for them, so they did need to win the last 3 with.
Yeah, so you end up coming and rushing it, and that the chance he had on the previous visit was an awful lot easier than this one. And that yellow's gone to an awkward position at the top of the table.
Quite on it.
Yeah, really wanted to keep a red to be able to play a red off a yellow down the table, but that's going to be tricky from here.
He wanted that red to go off the yellow to open up the 8 ball, but he's still going now. It's a nice shot. Didn't want to be hampered.
Yeah.
Can he play the red down the?
I think so. He can still play this shot. No, he's going to make it clean. Last thing he wanted.
Oh. And the cue ball's gone down. There's 1 minute 40 left, and yet again, Gary can just doesn't even need to have to worry about the clock. He can just knock these in, win 4-1, and hope that Luke and Dom can do them a favour in the last match.
Yeah, I think that's what Andy just said to him as well. I think he's come and deal with the ones at the top, and you're going to win without getting to the 8 ball.
He's just slightly at the wrong angle. He's going to be going into the 8 ball as he pots this. Just avoided it.
Yeah, this yellow does pass the top right, so that's actually a really nice shot. doesn't really need to worry about the clock. He's going to get to 4. He has played some good stuff tonight. First time on this stage for Gary Close. He's played some beautiful pool out there. And he's going to ask a question along with his partner, Andy Appleton. They're going to ask a question of Matt and Scott in the final match of the night. A really good showing there for the youngsters. The next gen lads did themselves proud. A famous victory over the group favourites, but ultimately they are going to bow out at this stage. One more match left to come tonight. Potential of a 6 red shootout. Still plenty on the line.